Okay, Unit 4, Section 5, adding polynomials. The big idea here is to remember when adding polynomials, exponents do not change. I'm writing this big because this is where people get mixed up. When we're adding polynomials, we don't change the exponents. The exponents just tell us what can be added together. They're basically there to identify what degree it is, and we add it to the same degree. Okay? Now, thanks to Dr. Brahm, I have a good way of doing this. I call it stack and add. That's what we're going to do when we're adding polynomials. We're just going to stack and add. So this isn't going to be a very long lesson, so hopefully most of you can get this pretty easily. So number one, if not, of course, let me know and I'll give you some more examples. We'll work on it together. 3x squared minus 4x plus 8. That group, add it to this group, 2x minus 7x squared minus 5. So we're adding these two groups together. You've done this before. We call it combining like terms. Okay? You've done it where you've added x's and y's and stuff like that. And that's what we're doing here. We're adding like terms. We're combining like terms. I want to do it differently, so I'm going to take this first group and I'm just going to copy it. And that's going to be the case. I'm just going to always copy that first group. And then when I take the second group, I'm going to carefully stack it where it belongs. So that 2x has an exponent of 1. It's a first degree monomial. So what that needs to go underneath, it needs to stack below the first degree with an x. So that's going to be 2x goes there. They need to have matching exponents and matching letters. Okay? So those get stacked. Now I'm going to look at this one. Now always look right in front of it to know if it's negative or positive. So that's a negative 7x squared. Well, where does that get stacked? Right here. Oh, I forgot to put the plus on there. There's an invisible plus on that 2x, so make sure you put that there. Because I looked in front of it. It's invisible, so it's a plus. And then I'm going to look at my negative 5. And that just stacks under my plain old 8. And now we just add the numbers in front together. Now some of you are terrible at negative and positives. You're still practicing and you're still working on it. It's a brain thing and it will come together, but check your work using your calculator. 3 minus 7 is going to be negative 4, and then we just bring down whatever it's attached to. Okay? So you notice I'm not changing my exponents. The next one is negative 4 plus 2x's. We have negative 4x's and 2x's. So how many do we have altogether? Negative 2x's. And then we have 8 minus 5. Well, that's plus 3. That's my final answer. Stack and add. Notice the exponents did not change. That's the big key here. Okay? Let's do another one. Negative 6xy plus 6x plus y squared plus 3y. That's a huge group. We're going to add it to this group. A negative 2x minus 4xy plus 8y. Okay, so we're going to add these groups together. So what did I say? Copy the first one down exactly. Okay? It doesn't matter the order, just copy it down as you see it. 6xy plus 6x plus y squared plus 3y. Now when we go to the second one, we have to stack them where they belong. So this, look in front of it. Ugh, are you doing it again, you stupid thing? I don't know why my pen is doing this lately. It's all the way charged. Oh, let's see if that did it. Yes, there we go. So that's negative 2x. So we're going to stack that under the other x. So right here, we're going to stack it under that 6x. Okay? Has to have the same letter or letters and the same exponent. All right, so that's where that one went. Now let's look at our next one. Negative 4xy. Well, that has an x and a y, and the exponents are 1. So where does that get stacked under? The x and the y with exponents of 1. Okay, now let's look at our last one. Plus 8y. Well, that can't go under the y squared because that doesn't have the same exponent. So it's going to go under here. Now, if you want to put a 0 under the y squared, we don't have any y squares to add to it. You can. You don't have to, though. So again, get out your calculator and check your negatives. Negative 6 minus 4 is negative 10, and we're just counting up how many xy's we have. Positive 6 minus 2 is going to be a plus 4x. Y squared didn't have anything to add to it, so we're just going to write that down. And 3 plus 8 is 11, and we were counting up y's. Okay? Stack and add. Let's do one more example. 4p squared plus 5p plus 2p squared plus p. Okay, do the same thing. Take that first group, copy it exactly, keep the order, doesn't matter. Take the second group and carefully stack them where they belong. I don't know why I just did that. So 2p squared, a p squared has to go under a p squared. Here it is. If you want to put the plus in front of it, you can, if that helps. And then we have just a plain old p, so we're just going to stack that under the p. Well, what's the coefficient in front of that p? What's the number in front of that p that we don't actually have written? We actually have, it's a 1p. We just don't write that most of the time, okay? But if you need to make that visible, make it visible. So 4p squared and 2p squared is 6p squared. Got that. And then 5p and 1p is 6p. And we're done. Okay? Try the homework, see what you can do, and then I'll take any questions when I see you in person.